Trump says he's out of patience, but he still insists that he has not made a final decision on whether U.S. troops will be attacking Iran. Moments ago, Trump wrapped up a meeting with his security team in the Situation Room. And we have new video into CNN tonight showing an Iranian missile flying over Jerusalem. The pace of that barrage has changed. We are learning that a third U.S. aircraft carrier, the USS Ford, will now be making its way toward the conflict between Israel and Iran, what is clearly already an air war. The Ford is the newest, largest, and most advanced U.S. aircraft carrier. Trump saying tonight he hasn't yet decided how involved the U.S. will become in this war.
I have ideas as to what to do, but I haven't made a final. I like to make the final decision 1 second before it's due, because things change. I mean, especially with war, things change with war. It can go from one extreme to the other. War is very bad. There was no reason for this to be a war.
He said there's no reason for this to be a war, but Trump made it clear today to Iran that when it comes to the U.S. involvement, time is of the essence.
Mr. President, have you given the Iranians an ultimatum?
You could say so. Huh? They know what's happening. Maybe you could call it the ultimate ultimatum, right?
But Iran today sent this letter to the UN, 3 pages. An Iranian source shared it with me. It says that there is undeniable evidence of direct United States involvement in the war against Iran. Those are the words they use. And the supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, seemingly unfazed by Trump's ultimatum. Instead, he issued this threat to Trump.
America's involvement in this matter will be 100% at their loss. The loss they receive will probably be much more than the damage Iran will bear.
Yeah, Ayatollah also saying Iran will not surrender. So when you have ultimate ultimatums responding, and then they respond with will not surrender, obviously that's not a good place to be. Trump was asked by our Elena Treen about the Ayatollah's refusal to surrender. He said this.
Say good luck. When does your patience run out?
It's already running out. That's why we're doing what we're doing.
And tonight, we have exclusive video into Outfront. I'll show you what this is. This is from the Iranian filmmaker Pouria Nouri. She is in Tehran. Not many images coming out of Tehran, and certainly not many from that aren't state media. So this is important. This is from a real person who tells us, quote, I hear and witness numerous explosions throughout the day and night. I wake up each morning to the shaking of walls and windows in my home. While the shadow of war looms over the lives of Iranian citizens, the solidarity among the people of Iran has grown stronger than ever. And that is a crucial question, because after a bomb is dropped, if one is, you then deal with, well, is it going to be a civil war in a country with 90+ million people? And does the U.S. own it? We're going to take you to the ground in Tehran in just a moment, where Fred Pleitgen and his team are now the first Western journalists to enter Iran since this latest conflict with Israel began. I begin, though, with Jeff Zeleny. He is at the White House tonight. And Jeff, we know Trump just wrapped up that security meeting just moments ago. What are you learning happened there, and as to whether any decisions have been made?
Aaron, tonight, President Trump is no longer in the West Wing of the White House. We know that because the Marine standing at his post right outside the West Wing doors is no longer there. That means the president is in the residence of the White House and, of course, still contemplating all of this. But that meeting in the Situation Room is just the one of a series of meetings and conversations the president had all day long. He started this day here at the White House, as we all well know, saying, I may do it, I may not do it. No one knows what I'm thinking. That was a message to his supporters and detractors alike, of course. But even as I am speaking to you right now, Aaron, I can hear some protests on Pennsylvania Avenue in the distance, urging the president to not go to war. But of course, he is hearing from a variety of advisors. And I am told that even as plans are being made across the government, we've seen the military, of course, fall into a line to fortify U.S. troops in the region should there be an attack. But also the discussion is on the aftermath of an attack, not simply the idea of striking the nuclear program in Iran. It's on the aftermath of that. And that is what is really hanging over, I am told, the entire question here that the president is really trying to wrestle with. Is he going to engage in a protracted war, something he has long campaigned and waged against? He's been such a critic in all of his time in public life as a candidate of the Bush administration's decision to enter, of course, the Middle East war in such different circumstances there. So I'm told he is thinking about the aftermath, and he does believe, I'm told, a strike is possible without getting involved in a long entanglement, Aaron. But that is very, very much an open question. We all remember back some 2 decades ago when it seemed military strikes and an ouster of a leader would be quick and easy. It was anything but that. Aaron.
Yeah, we all remember, right? The statues toppled, and everybody thought, okay, great, now you go home the victor. And, well, God knows we all saw what happened then over the next 2 decades. Jeff Zeleny, thank you very much. And I want to go to Fred Pleitgen. As I said, incredible work here. He has just arrived on the ground in Tehran. Fred's team is the first team of Western journalists to enter Iran since this latest conflict with Israel began. And Fred, what are you seeing there tonight?
We've been both hearing and seeing anti-aircraft fire in the skies over Tehran. Also, some pretty loud thuds could be heard as well. It's unclear whether or not those are possible airstrikes or maybe even interceptions by the air defense forces here. But one thing that is clear going through the streets of Tehran is that they are pretty empty, and most of the shops are also closed. As we were driving into the city, we did see a decent amount of traffic going in the other direction, trying to get out of town. And we know that a lot of people have left town since the Israeli airstrikes began here. But at the same time, the traffic was still somewhat flowing. One of the other things that we noticed as well, and we did drive through a substantial part of Iran to get to this place, is that in many other places, it appears to be almost business as usual. There were a lot of cars on the road. There were factories that appeared to be working. Also a lot of trucks that were driving on the street as well. And folks that we spoke to on the ground were basically saying they were just trying to get by and continue the way that they had been before. Nevertheless, of course, people here in Tehran understand that the situation for them could be dangerous, and many have actually left the city. And this comes as the Iranians are vowing to fight on. The supreme leader of Iran, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, he came out and said that Iran and the Iranian nation would never surrender. Of course, what the Iranians have been doing is, in the face of the airstrikes that have been coming in, have been lobbing their missiles towards Israeli territory. Fred Pleitgen, CNN, Tehran.
All right, thanks so much to Fred. And I want to go now to the former Israeli Prime Minister, Naftali Bennett. Prime Minister, I appreciate your time. And I know you're in central Israel tonight. You just heard Fred Pleitgen talking about some of the traffic going out of Tehran. And I know we've all seen the images right over the weekend of the bumper-to-bumper traffic. From where you sit right now, would it be the right thing for Tehran to be essentially evacuated? Would that be the right thing to do?
Well, in specific areas that we're targeting, which are military facilities or regime apparatus facilities, we notify that in advance in order to minimize civilian deaths and allow people to evacuate. So from those particular areas, it's a good idea. Yeah, well, we recommend, and we're telling the citizens to move out for the time being.
So I want to play again, Prime Minister, I know you heard this, but for anyone who has not, what Trump said today, because he talked about the Fordo nuclear site, right? Obviously the crucial one, where we understand that a lot of the nuclear apparatus is buried potentially 300 or more feet underground. Here's what he said.
We're the only ones that have the capability to do it, but that doesn't mean I'm going to do it at all. I haven't made a decision.
Prime Minister, I'm actually curious about something specific. I know that what we understand is that when it comes to an actual bomb to do it, that the United States is the one with the capability to do that. That's what he's referring to. But I'm curious as to whether Israel has other ways. I mean, whether that could be commandos or something else. But do you believe that Israel has the capability in any other way to take out the Fordo nuclear site without American help?
Well, obviously, I'm not going to get into operational plans, but I will say that as the war progresses, as Iran's air defenses diminish and it weakens, obviously that presents new possibilities that didn't exist before.